message to tell you about first of all, and it is for Leeds United. Matt Heath, who had played every single minute for the club in every competition so far this season. His perfect attendance record comes to an end, and Jamie Clapham is going to come on and replace him. So, Don, a little bit of a reshuffle at the back.
Yeah, it looks like young Ben Parker is just going to shuffle in one and play in the centre of that Leeds defence.
No more changes for Darlington. They've already had one forced on them. The injury to Tommy Wright, their top scorer, meant that there's a debut for Matt Green. Other than that, they stay as they started the match, hoping to be able to ask more questions of this very resolute and stubborn Leeds United side. Weston, well, he's certainly one out there who can provide a little bit of flair for the visitors here. Run into the defensive wall that is big Steve Foster.
Well, he demonstrated 2 or 3 times, didn't he? Curtis Weston in the first half. Very direct-looking player, lots of pace. Very prepared to take defenders on.
He's clearly a player that Dennis Wise likes. Had him at Millwall when he was manager there, took him to Swindon as well, and has now taken him to Leeds United. Now here's Green, he's got away from the defence, chance for Green, but there's Parker in his central defensive new job, showing that he is more than up to it.
Oh, not half. I mean, look at that pace by Matt Green, just leaves Leeds standing, but overcomes Parker. That, in the end, turns out to be a fantastic piece of defending.
Darlington corner, Kelty to deliver. Howson got his head to it first, and they just haven't been able to get any joy at all from the corner count, which is continuing to rise for the home side. Now De Vries. He's got Purdy for company, a little bit of little against large contest, and the big man able to get the ball away. And there in the nick of time is the Darlington captain, and Leeds have their corner.
That's clever play from big Mark De Vries. Just rolls Purdy, puts the ball into an area that he would like to be getting on the end of it. It's well defended in the end by Darlington.
Well, they haven't had an opportunity to test the Darlington defence from a corner yet. Let's see what they can do. Oh, it's an inviting one! One corner, one goal, and Paul Huntington has his first for Leeds United.
You said it was the first corner. Darlington have been the team that have had all the other corners. They haven't been able to do anything. Not so Leeds United. A lot of movement. Huntington just peels round the back, and he's got more desire to get on the end. Watch the way he just goes off the back of big Alan White, and he leaves him, and he's challenging with Steve Foster in the end, who gets under the ball. And that is a very, very good header from Huntington.
From Cumbria, who has scored in the Premiership before for Newcastle United, opens his account on his first start for Leeds United. Ryan. Now, the Darlington have it in them to break down a Leeds defence which has given them precious little so far. Parker, who looks no less impressive in his new role than he did out at fullback, left fullback in that first half.
Isn't football incredible? Because Matt Green was in behind that Leeds defence just a moment before. Young Ben Parker, goal-saving challenge, I think. Team go up the other end, get a corner, great delivery, bit of desire, determination in the box. They have the lead.
They don't tend to give these away, Leeds United. Not this season, not the way that they're playing. Here's Wayne Andrews, Westlake. Richardson. Thompson. Clapham. This is De Vries and Thompson. The decibel level from the travelling Leeds supporters just goes up a couple of notches. They rode the storm in the first half. gave nothing away, and they had the faintest of opportunities. They've made the League Two side pay. It's not for nothing that they have wiped out that 15-point penalty and stand within 3 points of a playoff position in League One. Hey, here's a chance. Blundell first touch, but the immaculate Parker tidies up again.
Once again, that is both impressive positional sense, reading of the game by a young player. I wonder they rate him highly. They need a quick response, really, Darlington. Haven't done too much wrong in this game, but they have found that Leeds United backline very difficult to breach.
Kelty. Bruno waits in the middle. Just sense they need to try and get Julian Joachim into the game. They've looked their most dangerous, other from the two chances they had when Joachim's been able to have a little bit of an impact. Few and far between, though.
Well, speaking to Dave Penny before the game, he was saying he's still got all that pace. He hasn't really had the opportunity to get Leeds fullback isolated. It's Jamie Clapham in the second half. And in a straight race, with respect to Jamie Clapham, you'd fancy Joachim just to have the legs on him.
Well, he might be relieved to have seen Parker move in field, Julian Joachim. Maybe that'll give him a little bit of breathing space he's looking for. They've got a free kick here, Darlington. Taken from the wrong spot, so Leeds able to build that defensive wall. Ryan, Blundell on.
Volume just goes up a little bit from the Darlington crowd. They've had that decent response that they were looking for.
Purdy, corner kick.
Well, they've had a demonstration of how it should be done from corners, haven't they?
Kelty goes more direct this time. Foster was coming in there, but Parker got it clear. Referee keeping an eagle eye on that tussle over there. Curtis Weston just having a talking to. Free kick's gone against him.
Again, it's a little bit naive, really, because Darlington were having to roll the ball back and away from Leeds' goal. To commit a foul under those circumstances, a bit silly.
Parker charged with trying to keep Foster. Flag has gone up immediately on this near side. A little bit of pushing in there, spotted by the referee's assistant.
It's Paul Huntington's goal that separates, and just have a look at his desire and determination, so much so actually looking the other way when he heads that a little bit, but he was so determined to get his head on it from that distance. Gets a good strong header on it, opens the deadlock.
Still only 20, undoubtedly a talented player. He was thrown into the fray really at the deep end last season. You might remember when Newcastle United had all those defensive problems. He's a centre-half by trade, but had to come on and play right back in some games, left back in the other, and acquitted himself very well.
That's what I was saying. I was so surprised in Newcastle let him go. At that age, showing promise, already made his debut in the Premier League. Always got a lot going for him.
Didn't manage to get his chance under Sam Allardyce. Here's De Vries. Trying a little give and go there with Westlake. All coming to nothing. Well, we're wondering how Leeds would be able to break down the Darlington defence. We got their answer, but in yesteryear they often look to that man to provide the width and inspiration, Eddie Gray.
What a player he was as a boy growing up in Leeds. Saw a lot of him. Majestic wing play.
Couple of spells as manager of the club, of course, couldn't do anything about the slide down the divisions. Kelty. Oh, he's found a way through to Blundell. Oh, Blundell went for that. And he certainly got plenty of David Lucas.
Well, he's pleading his innocence. Greg Blundell. David Lucas, obviously, feeling the full effects of that challenge. It's actually a good build-up play by Darlington as the ball comes back here. Blundell makes a good run in between the centre half. Has a lunge at the end, just to try and get his foot on the end of that ball. He feels he's got every right to go for that, but he goes studs up, and that's a little bit on the dangerous side. Painful for Lucas.
Painful one, but he's made a stern stuff. He's going to carry on, David Lucas. And why not? Not getting much of a look in at Leeds United due to the exceptional form of Kasper Ankergren. Greg Blundell feeling that he had every right of going for that ball. What's the striker's verdict on?
Well, I can tell you, his manager Dave Penny would have been asking why he hadn't gone for that ball had he not.
They got a big game at the weekend, Darlington, and might want to keep a little bit of their powder dry. Neil Wainwright is going to come on and replace Xavier Barrow. A less eventful first start than it was on his first appearance for the club. Off early this time for all the right reasons. Leeds are going to respond by the look of things with a substitution of their own. Looks like the new boy, it is, Felipe da Costa. Valuable hour or so under the belt of Alan Thompson as he returns to full fitness. No need to take a risk with him, and a chance to get to know the new boy for Leeds United. Certainly plenty of experience across the European leagues, Felipe da Costa. Started in his home country, Portugal, and since then, spells in Italy and Cyprus as well. And now, welcome to the Football League trophy on a rainy night in Darlington.
Looking forward to seeing him. If he's anything like some of the Portuguese imports we've had, he'll have lots of skill and tricks.
Here's Wainwright, chance for him to make an immediate impact. Kelty. Ryan, time to get his cross right. It's not easy to breach the defence. It's only conceded one goal in their last 7 league games, and that was when they were down to 9 men at Gillingham. Here's da Costa, slotted in that part of midfield alongside Jonathan Howson. Huntington, the goal scorer.
Looks like he's got a little bit of a bang to the eye there, doesn't it? Huntington, left eye. I wonder whether that was when he was getting his goal. If it was, he won't mind a bit of that.
Georgie, Green, turned into trouble. Clapham there. But well kept alive. Blundell, Purdy, Greg Blundell. Here's Clark Kelty.
That's catching practice, isn't it? Leeds looking to counter.
Curtis Weston. Leeds supporters, I'm sure, would like to see him get a chance to do a little bit more running with the ball. To just have that spark when he gets the ball at his feet, doesn't he?
Well, you get players that are direct like that, want to run with the ball, take players on. You get you standing and at your seat, don't they? Is there going to be another one of these Leeds Academy off the production line?
He knows all about cup competitions as well, Curtis Weston. Came on for Dennis Wise as a substitute in that FA Cup final when he was at Millwall. Youngest player to appear in an FA Cup final. De Vries the target, not surprisingly. just slipped away. The drizzle's still coming down here at the Darlington Arena. The last two games here at their spanking new home, Darlington. It's the sixth season they've been here now since it opened up. Last two games ending 1-1. If they're able to get an equaliser in half an hour's time, we will be heading straight to penalty kicks. Just a reminder, no extra time in the Johnston's Paint Trophy at this stage. All one-legged affairs until you get to the area finals, which are contested over two legs. Here's Julian Joachim. Clapham got in there. Here Kelty now. And Joachim queuing up in the middle for the home side. Just need to get the delivery right, something they have found it hard to do so far. Purdy. Joachim. Wayne Andrews. And a slip by White. So allowed Andrews to tear away. And Ravenhill went across the back of him. And felt, I'm sure he had to give that one away.
Yeah, the last thing he wanted, or his team would have wanted, is Wayne Andrews in full flight, herring away.
Da Costa stands over this one. Housen. Well, Leeds closing in on their fifth 1-0 win of the season. Yet another win. It would be extraordinary, really, with this makeshift side, but they're not there yet, not by a long way. Here's Green.
Well, he has looked sharp. I've liked the look of him, Matt Green. Demonstrated that searing pace earlier in this half, but once he gets running with the ball, cuts inside, it's a very, very good strike, but straight down David Lucas's throat.
Had a little taste of championship action last season when he was at Cardiff, came on as substitute a few times, Matt Green, but with the arrival of the big boys at Cardiff now, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Robbie Fowler, he's gone down the pecking order and come down to League Two to get a little bit of sharpness to his game. Not quite ready for that one, though. Clapham, one of three loan players that Leeds have out there now, with the two strikers. Clapham's loaned 3 months, Andrews and De Vries just 1 month emergency loans. Here's Da Costa. Continues to pressurise Purdy.
You say Portuguese flair? We just saw a little bit.
Combined with a good work rate as well. I'm sure Dennis Wise from his midfield playing days will have told him what is required in English football. Green. Kelty. Purdy. A similar story at the moment to what we had for a lot of the first half. Darlington possession, Leeds United stubborn resistance.
Compact, well organised, well drilled defence. He'll be thrilled with that.
Da Costa helped on to Clapham. Andrews. Clapham's continued his run, taken a deflection, and outstretched, he just managed to deal with it there, Oakes. Westlake. Off goes Andrews again. Nicked in ahead of White. He hasn't had a lot to do tonight, has he, Andy Oakes? But vital to keep Darlington in the tie there.
Well, absolutely, and you spoke about the greasy surface, wet ball, makes life difficult for goalkeepers. Great play by Jamie Clapham, just there, thinks he's got it, just slips away. Fortunately, Alan White's on his toes. Good hand there, thinks he's got it, just gets away from him, but it's good defending in the end by White.
Da Costa looks a player, doesn't he? Away from Ravenhill, still going, Felipe Da Costa, the new boy with a wonderful run. Not quite the finish to match, or that would have been really special.
Well, they've been waiting for this work permit to come through, haven't they? You can see why they're keen to get him on the pitch. Spoke about flair and skill. All rolled into one there. One thing in his mind, he doesn't care. He's surrounded by three players, takes them all on. Still gets a shot in. Only thing missing is hitting the target.
Green. Wainwright. Here's Tim Ryan. No change there for Blundell. Kelty slow to arrive on the scene. Howson's down. Good advantage played here by the referee, Michael Jones. Can Leeds make it count? They've certainly committed plenty forward. Here's Curtis Weston, and there goes the chance.
Well, he's getting a yellow card for his challenge that happened in the middle of the field as Leeds broke away there. He was just a fraction late. Clark Kelty. It's good refereeing in the end because Howson gets rid of that. Kelty catches him. Referee Michael Jones lets Leeds break, gives him an advantage and then comes back and dishes out the yellow card. Good refereeing.
Two apiece in terms of yellow cards now, dished out by Michael Jones. Well, they got to the Northern Area semi-finals in this competition last season, Darlington. Only the second time in the history that they managed it, did it in the mid-80s as well. If they can turn this one around, it'll only be the third time in the last 16 seasons that they've got through to the quarter-finals. The inauspicious record in the Johnston's Paint Trophy in its various guises over the years. Curtis Weston. Here's Andrews. Weston wants it played short. Andrews looking for his strike partner, De Vries.
Again, good play all round. Wayne Andrews here just looks for his strike partner at the far post, and De Vries hits the outside of the post. It's a really good effort in the end from Big De Vries. He's got no real gap to go for. Very close, and the post rescues Darlington, keeps them in this game, just.
Hasn't really been able to lay his hat anywhere for a long period of time over the last couple of seasons. Lone spells back in his homeland with Heronvane. Helping out Leeds United over the last couple of weeks, particularly at the weekend. Very nearly helping them to secure a place in the next round there.
Yeah, it was at Hearts, wasn't it, where Big De Vries made his name. Scored a lot of goals up in Scotland. Never quite happened for him down at Leicester. Threatened to, but he's getting his opportunity at Ellen Road.
He was one of the host of players that Craig Levein brought down, wasn't he, to try and shape his reign at the Walkers Stadium. Never quite worked out that way for manager or most of the players, it has to be said. Here's Da Costa. A murmur of excitement around the Leeds fans behind that goal when he gets the ball. No nonsense defending by White there. Quarter of the game going. Couple of minutes into this second half, Huntington rose to head the Yorkshire side into the lead. A game of few chances but plenty of endeavour, but it sense it's opening up as the game goes on, and particularly Darlington lads, you would feel, might start to tire. Only a couple of changes from the weekend. 9 of their starting line-up here also started down at Dagenham Stadium, the London Borough of Barking and Dagenham Stadium, to give it its full name. Here at the Balfour Webnet Darlington Arena. They love a long name in football stadiums these days.
It's all about sponsorship, isn't it? Particularly clubs like this, they need those sponsors, keep them going. Much needed revenues to the clubs.
We mentioned earlier, Don, about whether Leeds United making all these changes, 9 of them to the side that continued their winning run at the weekend. Harm momentum. They've just picked up where they've left off, haven't they? De Vries down here. Nothing thinks about playing it out. Sides no need. More trickery from Da Costa, and yet more. He's a joy to watch, isn't he?
I think he's going to give Leeds fans many an entertaining moment.
Purdy, nowhere really for him to go. He's done really well, not just in defence, but turning it into attack. They've given it away here, Darlington, to Westlake. De Vries. Weston trying to spin in behind, thwarted by Ryan. Kelty. Free kick awarded, and a little bit of afters. Westlake and Ravenhill, no harm done. Hasn't really been able to get into the game since he came on as a substitute. That's an awkward one. Well collected by David Lucas.
Oh, didn't he make that look easy? It was very, very awkward under pressure. Lots of bodies around him. Very well done.
Howson. Richardson. Here's Green. Held off by Parker, who waited his time and got the challenge in. Second wave of Darlington attack. This time Clapham does the job to deny Joachim. They'll try again, this time through Purdy. Kelty. Well, sort of reduced to that now, aren't they? Shots from range.
I think that's born out of sheer frustration.
Well, terrific attendance here tonight, the highest of the season by a margin. Nearly 8,000. 1/3 of the attendance, though, coming up the A1 from Leeds. Marching on together.
They certainly are, aren't they? And if this is their sort of demonstration of the power of Leeds United's squad, I don't think you can help but be impressed. I mean, they've looked rock solid at the back, very workmanlike in midfield, and the strikers have worked hard and looked lively up front. They've got all those other players to come back.
You've got the goalkeeper Ankergren, Rui Marquez in defence, Prutton, Hughes, Sebastian Carroll, the wideman, and of course the two strikers, Trésor Candol and Jermaine Beckford, who are responsible for 4 tonight of 11 of the 19 goals that Leeds United have scored.
I think that list has just made a whole lot of League One teams very, very jealous.
Not surprisingly, week in, week out, as much as injuries allowed, Dennis Wise and Gus Poyet sticking with the same side, so a useful exercise, this competition, to just give those players who aren't getting much of a game, only getting the odd substitute appearance, good competitive football under their belt. It's been boxes ticked all round. No wonder there are smiles down there. Even Dennis is allowing himself one. Look at that.
Very relaxed, aren't they, down there? Real belief around the place as well.
Last 15 minutes. Of the 21 goals they've scored so far this season, including tonight, 10 of those have come in the last quarter of an hour. Oh, maybe we're going to get one here. Sloppy clearance, and Andrews couldn't capitalise. Well, they both hurt themselves there, White and Andrews, by the look of things.
Yeah, they're both down, and I think the fact that Andrews didn't get straight up when he had an opportunity to go on and maybe get a shot indicated he's hurt. Yeah, it's a poor clearance by Andy Oakes that leads to this. He's onto it like a flash. White covering. Just a clash there, isn't there? A bit of a coming together. Both genuine challenge to go for the ball. White almost stands on top of it. When Andrews doesn't get up when the ball's there, you know that he's hurt.
Well, Wayne Andrews gets treatment, Alan White as well. Let's remind you of the Football League action we've got coming for you. The leaders of League Two take on struggling Lincoln. You can see that live on Sunday, 1 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 and HD1. And then the holders of this, the Johnstone's Paint Trophy, Doncaster, in league action against Huddersfield. That is 3:30, same channel, Sky Sports 1, and in high definition on HD1. We don't want to take too many chances. Wayne Andrews up and walking. It's going to make a change, Dennis-wise, in a moment. Wayne Andrews coming off, and I think it's going to be Tomi Amiobi who's going to come on. The younger brother of Newcastle's Shola getting ready. Darlington want to make a change as well. Final substitutions made by both managers here. Well, he's only on a month loan. I'll hope, Leeds United, that that's not the last they see of Wayne Andrews. I'm sure it won't be the last they see of Tomi Amiobi. Yet another teenager thrown on to try and finish the job, see it through for Leeds United. Like swap in midfield here for Dave Penny and Darlington. Mickey Cummins sent on, and Ricky Ravenhill makes way.
You can see he's trying to explain exactly what went on, how he ended up injured.
Just seemed to go over on his ankle, didn't he, a little bit. Oh, a chance for Amiobi nearly to make an immediate impact. Just got in there behind the defence. Here's Wainwright. Leeds have been comfortable, but they haven't put this to bed just yet. Well, the masters of the late goal going to be undone themselves. Green undersold that one a little bit to the substitute Cummins, but they've kept this alive, Darlington. Churchy, Purdy, Kelty, trying to add a little bit of zip to their attack. Churchy, clever ball. Cummins getting forward. Goal kick.
Now once again, patient build-up into Green, back to Joachim and through, and it clearly comes off Cummins in the end. Good build-up. You can see clearly what Darlington are trying to do. And again, it's good defending by Huntington.
There's the man whose goal is the difference, Paul Huntington. Joachim. Howson. Amiobi. The better of Purdy. And that's in his mind to take on White.
A bit of experience against youth there, and experience prevailing.
Minutes to go, just under. Defeat at a cost for Darlington. Back to the first half injury to Tommy Wright. And to hear how severe that one is, but I'll hope that that doesn't keep him out, with Pavel Abbott sidelined as well. They're starting to run out of strikers.
At this level as well, you know, there's not many teams that can cope with losing those kind of players, to be fair. It'll be a fraction of a worry for Dave Penny.
It's that first choice strike force, isn't it? Already changed. Here's Tommy Wright. Rare miscalculation by Parker. Here's Matt Green. Well, he looked up, didn't he, and just felt there was no option for him.
Well, I actually think he was trying to cross that ball. I think he looked up, spotted Greg Blundell at the far post, and went to try and whip the ball across face of goal for him. It's a misread. And Green capitalises. He looks up at Greg Blundell. I'm sure he's trying to wrap his foot around that and get that ball to the far post for his strike partner.
Blundell still full of running. Here's to Costa. Purdy just stole in ahead. Joachim up against Clapham. Players who've locked horns in the Premiership before. Villa and Ipswich days gone by. Kelty. Ryan. Wainwright. Drifting away from Darlington. Can they haul it back in and take this one to penalties? Not this time.
Again, it's a little bit ambitious. Once he cuts in, decides to take the shot on, but it's going to take an awful good shot to beat David Lucas from there.
Green. We talked about the injuries to the strikers, but Matt Green's shown enough to show them he'll be a useful weapon in the attack for the Quakers. Might have to use him against Stockport. Here he is again! Oh, how unlucky!
I think the reaction tells you everything from the young man. Everything right. He has been a problem for Leeds' defence when he's been able to run at them, but he cuts inside well. That is a super strike. Just catches the outside of the post. Look at that for a full-on strike. Very, very unlucky.
A warning shot across the bows of Leeds United. We're in pole position, but they haven't finished the job just yet. Joachim.
Well, this is what you expect from Darlington, don't you? A rousing finish. Got nothing to lose now. 6 minutes to go. Might as well throw caution to the wind here.
Make Leeds work to cross that finishing line, not coast across it. Wainwright couldn't keep it in.
And kicking the ball away won't help matters either, young man. Wasting a few seconds and you're losing.
Late in the day, but still the competitive instinct burns bright. De Vries and Ryan all smiles as a word from Michael Jones, the referee. Not going to add to the 4 yellow cards he's given out so far this evening. De Vries putting a bit of pressure on Alan White. Now Wainwright. Two men for company. Ryan. Green underneath it. And he took out Lucas on the way through.
Well, referee was in pole position to see that. He's pleading his innocence. It's a high-hanging ball. Green has a look at Lucas, doesn't he, and just backs in, raises his arm. It's a definite foul. Well done, referee. With just a second ago, the green strike. David Lucas just gets the faintest of touches to that. That's a decent save.
And a decent debut as well from David Lucas. Can't ask any more than a clean sheet, and he's nearly that. 4 minutes plus stoppage time away. Costa. Here goes Amiobi. Well, you think back in the game, Dom, to the number of saves that Andy Oakes has had to make, and you struggle to fill a couple of fingers on one hand.
Yeah, he's not had that much to do, but it's the statistic that counts. And Leeds are 1 up with not long to go.
Doing what is necessary to get what they want. Done it all season, Leeds, and very close to seeing the job through here.
Well, he's not as calm now, Dennis Wise, is he? A little bit angry, animated. Maybe he doesn't think that his team are over the line just yet. Gus Poyet thinks it's funny, doesn't he? Whatever it was.
You just sense there's something of a good cop, bad cop relationship down there with Gus Poyet and Dennis Wise, don't you? It's all about taking the opportunity when it comes your way, isn't it? One corner for Leeds United, they make it count. Darlington have had 6 times that number and haven't been able to be as clinical. Fine lines. And the superiority in the league ladder looks like it's going to prevail. They could add a gloss here if Clapham can get in. Joachim tracking back to ensure he can't, but they have another corner.
They do. But that isn't where Darlington want Julian Joachim, is it? It was vital that he was there on that occasion. And that's not particularly where they want him, and just to confirm it, Darlington in the ascendancy on the corner count, but not on that vital statistic.
Now, can they defend this second one a little better than they did the first? Goes deep again, and it's danger again, and it's very nearly a second goal. De Vries couldn't complete the victory there.
You spoke about Andy Oakes having nothing to do. Well, he had something to do then. Again, Darlington don't defend with a deal with the corner, and De Vries, you fancy him there, but he's out like a flash. Andy Oakes reads the danger, sprints off his line, gets a vital block with his body.
A flurry of corners. Just as well, they have only had the couple, isn't it, Leeds, the way that Darlington have dealt with them so far. This one should be a little more comfortable. Joachim. Blundell. Time running out here. And just what they don't need at this stage. Well, was it that shot from Green tipped onto the post by Lucas, which was the chance for Darlington? Looks that way.
Yeah, that clock is ticking away, and you have to say Leeds have done a job on Darlington, haven't they? Very, very professional job, taking that opportunity when it came.
Well, 3 minutes of time added. Well, there's time for Darlington. Question marks over the Leeds United youngsters and how they cope with the Darlington full-strength side. No doubt about it, the kids have been all right, particularly Ben Parker, who's stood out in both the positions.
Oh, he's been excellent, and when you think, like you say, he's had to play at full-back and then shift into the middle. Excellent, excellent game. He'll be pleased with his night's work.
Only his 5th appearance for the club, by the way, Ben Parker. Many, many more to come on this reckoning. Here's Howson, another youngster, knowing exactly what his manager would want him to do. Head for the corner. No need to take risks at this time.
Teach him well at Ellen Road. Exactly the right thing to do under these circumstances.
De Vries. Leeds had already coming into this one more games away from home this year than they did in the whole of last season, their championship season. They can add another one to that tally very nearly. Just 90 seconds away from that. Da Costa, another bright spark, and from the cheers from the Leeds fans already, something of a favourite on his debut. That's one way to stop him.
It was the initial trip, wasn't it? Tried to keep on his feet, but couldn't. And all this, just running the clock down.
Yellow card for Alan White, number 3 for Darlington tonight.
I think it's probably something that he said in disagreement to that foul.
Well, Da Costa's going to take this one. Let's see what he's got in his locker.
I think the less said about that, the better. Looked sharp, looked bright, looked a bit of a player.
Clapham. The Leeds United machine is moving along perfectly. It doesn't matter what the competition, doesn't matter what the lineup. Jobs would seem to be done. Purdy, oh, they haven't done it here yet. Wainwright, what a chance in the last seconds of stoppage time.
Oh, that is a shame for Darlington and a shame for Wainwright. Good build-up play again, and as the ball breaks to him, he's not comfortable on that right-hand side, is he? And I think that's a clear demonstration. He's got to have a swing with his right foot. He does. That tells you everything you need to know. He needs to get back and work on it. What a chance that was for his team.
With the last kick of the game, so goes Darlington's chance, and so Leeds, in their first taste of this competition, go through to the Northern Area quarter-finals. Business as usual for Leeds United. A first start for young Paul Huntington, a first goal for him as well. That was enough in the end, but it was impressive by Leeds United, who yet again did exactly what was required. Darlington 0, Leeds United 1.